Fresh off of a blazing beginning to the day, the morning of October 30th sealed the stamp of approval that our favorite time of the season is finally upon us. With very few does in estrus, it's a perfect time to catch a mature buck on his feet alone, searching for a match. On the same morning that saw Mike and Zach both make perfect shots on great bucks, 130 miles to the southwest, Justin Carnes and Drake Lamb were also hunting. Set up on the edge of two thick bedding areas, the duo enjoyed an awesome hunt despite no sightings of Gene's 8 or one of the other big bucks in the area. Making a move for the afternoon sit, Drake Lamb is behind the bow heading in for a highly anticipated hunt.
Guys, afternoon of October 30th, we just climbed in to a set we call the C3 set. We're here on Skip's farm. Justin was in the hot seat this morning. We were going after a couple of the deer that he had on the hit list out here. It's been a good couple days here for the Midwest Whitetail crew. Owen tagged out. Mike shot DK this morning, and Kane killed a deer yesterday in Illinois, and Zach Rosmus killed a deer this morning. So we've been on a hot streak as a team. Hopefully we can keep it rolling here tonight. We're kind of taking a break from the other permission farms that I have. Those deer really aren't showing any daylight movement. There's been some pressure from the neighbors and stuff. So I've got some standing corn right out here to my southwest. We got a straight west wind, so blowing back over the camera. That's the way we came in. We snuck down a little access road and blow the wind back this way. Everything sits out in front. We got a rub post right out here in front of us, about 15 yards. So deer movement's been good here the last couple nights. So hopefully tonight can be the night.
Deer beginning to move all around their stand, the duo watched for a buck to linger in tow. That same evening, 240 miles to the south, team member Corey Wolf is heading to the woods, bow in hand himself. Following Monica's early season magnum, a first hunt with son Joshua unfolded, and only a few weeks later, Corey was back again behind the camera, this time with daughter Hope. Tagging her first deer with a bow ever, attention now is focused on hunting of his own.
Welcome to Midwest Whitetail. October 30th is my last day of being 40. So, birthday tomorrow on Halloween. I'm hoping for an early trick or treat, hopefully a treat tonight. I came up to Deer Ridge. It's a long, narrow field, ridgetop field. It's got a couple fingers. I'm set up in between two of these fingers. I'm excited. I mean, it's like 40 degrees cooler than it was 2 days ago. Had rain the last 2 days. So if bucks aren't checking scrapes, they're going to be checking these large feed fields in the evenings. I planted this in beans twice this spring. And then because of the drought, I planted it once and then drought and the deer pressure and everything. And then I have not been back up here since I planted the weed up here, and it looks great. It looks awesome. It's probably, 500 yards from one end to the other. Got a decoy here in the middle, and like I said, in between those two fingers, and hoping for some action today. That's a long beard there. so the wind is dying down finally. I'll be honest, I'm surprised I haven't seen more deer. Seeing those 3 early kind of got my hopes up. But fingers crossed, hopefully something comes out yet. About the shot. I think I smoked him, but I'm shook up. That looked like a big buck, a really big buck. I'm getting the shakes for sure. Oh, October 30th. Happy birthday, Corey. Tomorrow's my birthday, and I think I just killed a big buck.
While Corey takes time and reviews the shot before taking up the trail, back in Iowa, Drake's hunt continues.
Probably down to the last 45 minutes or 30 minutes or so. It's been real slow. We had one little buck come through, and just that doe and the fawn as we got in, so it's calmed down. It's a beautiful night. See what happens.
As Drake wraps up his evening, back in Missouri, Corey Wolf is at the house preparing to gear up for the blood trail.
Joshua! What do you think just happened?
Why does Dad have a camera?
You go deer hunting.
I went deer hunting, and what do you think happened while I was deer hunting?
You got a deer.
You bet.
You got one?
I did. Do you know that deer?
He's big.
The perfect 10?
Yes, he's big.
There he is. All right, so me and Dusty are gonna go check for blood. I didn't hear the deer crash, but I watched the footage back a few times now, and it could be back. It could be right in the heart. So let's go take a look and see. He looks on amazing. Here's the lighted knot. No way. No way. That is crazy. You ever seen anything like that? There he is. Never. Hopefully he didn't break his rack off there. Look, he hit that tree. Dude, this is insane. He's a big body deer, nothing. Well, the deer didn't make it 100 yards. Looks like I made a pretty good shot. Low in the heart, but you know, I was a little bit fooled by this deer just because I didn't realize which deer it was until maybe 20 minutes after I shot him. Tickled with this deer. I'm happy. I don't know how I could have a better year than this, shooting muskox and caribou, and my wife Monica shooting her biggest buck ever, getting to take Joshua hunting, and Hope shooting her first deer with a bow, and just been a awesome year. This deer is a blessing to me, and you know, I thank God for making these beautiful animals, and you know, giving me the opportunity to come and chase them. So perfect 10 is dead, and I'm gonna get ready for the rifle season coming up, and hopefully I can take my mom to get a deer and have another couple successful hunts before the end of the year. All right, you count them for me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's still a 10-pointer.
With the sun set on October 30th, the final day of the month is here. Continuing their rutcation push, Justin Carnes and Drake Lamb greet Halloween morning enjoying the perfect conditions.
Justin, what's this buck right here, back here behind us? Hold on. Where's he at? Oh, right there. That's it. That's him. That's the big 8. Right on her, 10 yards. I mean, she's right here. I'm gonna get him right up here. Are you good? Are you gonna be good? Yes? Meh. Oh, he's bleeding good. Dude, that's the big 8. Come on, dude, that's a big 8. Dude, Halloween. Dude, he couldn't have come from a better place. Oh my gosh. Dude, he came right from where you killed your deer in 18? Dude. That's him. He's dead. Oh, just killed. Them boys up yet? I'm gonna tell him Daddy got him a big buck. Hey, James. Daddy got a big buck. Big buck. I got one. I got a big buck. I got a big buck. I'll bring him so you can see him later. Big buck. That's how big? Okay. We'll see if he's that big. I love you, buddy. I'll see you later, okay?
I love you, Daddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Pull up yards, dude.
Man. Wait, I thought Drake shot him. Oh, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, this is better. I didn't want Drake shooting a deer.
While the guys decide on their next move, 35 miles to the south, myself and Brian Brown are back in the woods. The past few days have seen us bouncing from spot to spot on the Iowa public land, but now we've switched to a nearby permission property. Lee Abraham, a gracious friend, has given us the green light to hunt, and one buck in particular is at the top of the list. A bruiser with an attitude dubbed Split Brow, Brian and I head to the same redneck blind we sat the evening before.
Oh, he's got his ears pulled back. Just had that little spike roll through here. It actually got behind the blind. Old Dave Smith out there's got some frost on his back. He's cold. He needs a friend out there with him. That deer popped up right in those cedars. Get in there and kind of block the wind. They're used to it, but you got to think they're going to use these cedars to their advantage, getting out of the wind. I mean, that's what he's just kind of traveling these thickets. So hopefully that should put us in perfect position. That's a giant. That's great face, 100%. All right, it's getting close to 11 o'clock. We had a pretty good set. We ended up seeing the gray face buck that they have on the back of this food plot back here. So really, I mean, most of the deer we're seeing are working that back edge, but we know that split brow does come here from time to time. It's a perfect little pinch point. We had that 2-year-old come in on this decoy. It was really cool. So we're hoping that if split brow sees this decoy, he'll kind of turn just like that deer did and give us a perfect shot. But we're gonna slip out of here right now, go get some food. This is definitely one of those spots, if you put your time in, eventually something will come through here. So, but anyways, we'll get our stuff out of here and make a game plan for this evening.
While While Brian and I slip out to strategize a game plan, back in southern Iowa, Caleb Greiner is regrouping on the permission farm he earned the right to hunt through an exchange of work this past summer. With only the Vendetta buck back home potentially alive, all efforts are now focused on speed scouting the new access.
Well, it's the last day of October, Halloween. Happy Halloween. I forgot about that. Happy Halloween. We are on Permission Farm. I did a bunch of work here and drilled some plots earlier this year, and the landowner is very kind. He's nice enough to give me permission, so we're out here hanging a few cameras. Where we're at right now, it's a great transition. We got standing corn. There's a little filter strip right here on this edge of this creek, and goes into acorns, and sure enough, there's a bunch of sign right here. Big trail coming out, so we're gonna try and find a vine real quick, hang a vine scrape. Put this cutty link chain out, and hopefully, after we do some scouting, we'll make it out for a hunt tonight. We're doing some scouting right now. We just found a good timber scrape, threw a camera up on that, but it's really interesting. All this traffic, all these trails were funneling into one spot, and I knew there was probably a fence gap up here. It's not a fence gap, but basically there's just a big opening in this fence and all these deer going underneath it. So good spot to run a camera. And when these scrapes slow down, spots like this are spots that you're gonna continue to get deer pictures. So wouldn't be surprised if we get back in here maybe tomorrow or the following day. Shay's shaking like a dog over here, man. We were just sitting here, we were messing with this camera. I'm putting pins on Onyx so I don't forget where all these cameras are. We heard some blowing over here. It was actually an injured buck. I don't know how old he was, but looked like he was limping that left front leg. Looked like it was a little injured, but he was grunting. Nonetheless, he was gonna come right here. We just talked about how this fence gap, there's a bunch of deer coming here. I mean, he got probably within 10, 12 yards of us, was gonna come right through it. So, looking forward to hunting that stand, that's for darn sure. Glad we put a camera here.
Following the blood-pumping ground level encounter, Caleb's already high excitement continues to grow. With plans to keep scouting, Caleb searches for the perfect stand location. Back to the north, Justin and Drake are hitting the trail, arriving back at the site of the shot.
How far did you see him run? Straight across the plot, kind of out of the plot. In the plot, he went in the blue.
Alright, so Justin and Skip just picked up the blood trail. Stands right here over my shoulder. We shot him right here. We're gonna pick up some blood. Hopefully we can find this sucker. I don't think he went very far. So this is like 100 yards away from where I killed my buck, I think 5 years ago. So it's kind of cool. But hopefully we can find him right here. Track, yeah, you see it up there. Right here. This is where I see him, gosh. Oh, look at that. Did we walk that fast? Oh shoot, we did. Oh gosh, look at that. Oh yeah. He's just gushing. You got him? Oh, there's a bed. bed. We're 260 from the shot, 260 yards. I mean, we knew we got in the liver. It's definitely in the liver, I can smell it. 100%. There's a ton of coyotes in here, as you guys can probably hear from some of the audio we've got at night, so we wanted to give him enough time, but we didn't want to give him all day. That's blood for sure. Pin drop. Since we haven't popped that ridge yet, Skip, do we back out for a couple more hours? And start back right here? All right, guys, well, it's a little after 1 o'clock here. We tracked this deer, had a really good blood going down. We ended up finding it in bed, 260 yards in, found several drops of blood, 50 yards past that, and then some more 50 yards past that. And that's where we stopped, right before it tucked off this ridge. And we got last blood marked, and I've been on the phone. I found a couple of different blood track guys here from the Iowa Blood Trackers group on Facebook. The dogs are trained, on the interdigital gland that's in between their toes, so the less scent we can put in there, the better. The weather's cold. The deer's gonna be fine. If he's dead in 12 hours, he'll be dead in 24. The only thing about it around here is the coyotes, which, that's kind of part of it at this point. But I think we're gonna back out and give ourselves the best possible chance at recovering this deer. And I think getting a blood dog in here is the option. Let you know how it plays out here. It'll be a sleepless night for me.
The scenario that Justin finds himself in is a harsh reminder that the game of bow hunting really is a matter of inches. In the heat of the moment, keying in on holding right behind the shoulder was a perfect decision with the buck walking slowly at 10 yards. However, the difference between the front leg position being forward versus backwards results in an entirely different trail. Doing all that they can to learn from the situation, the guys make the next best play and wait on the trained tracking dog to arrive. Making a play of his own, 300 miles to the southwest in Kansas, Nolan Rediker is making a hunt on a brand new permission property that spans only 10 acres.
Well, I'm just getting set up for round 3 in the same tree I've sat the past 3 sits. Don't love coming back to the same tree, but this spot has really good access. It's going to be interesting to see tonight if I see the does I saw last night. Last night I saw 15 or so does and fawns. I'm curious to see if they're in here again tonight. So we have had mature bucks on this camera in daylight in the evenings before. So with any luck, we'll have one go by tonight. Beautiful night to be in the stand, Halloween night. Hopefully a good treat, no tricks, but you never know. So Big 9 is the one I'm after in particular, but this area is known to have a lot of good bucks in it, so anything could show up at any time. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it'll be a good night. Well, there you have it. Shooter encounter number 1 for me. I actually know what deer that is. I actually have 3 sheds off that buck. With the sheds I found off of him, I know he's got to be at least 5, I would guess. I gave him a couple light grunts, and he didn't seem very interested. It was good to see him and good to know he's in the area.
As Nolan scans the creek bottom for the off chance that the buck works in, 375 miles to the northeast back in Iowa, team member Brandon Witten is also on stand, hunting a historic location.
Trick or treat. It's October 31st. I'm sure a lot of you recognize this spot. I've sat in it quite a bit over the years. We call this the Buster plot, just because he's the last buck I killed in it, but tonight we're hunting tank in the urban zone. There is a buck that I haven't really talked much about. I had velvet pictures of him and he disappeared. Well, as of, I think it was a night ago, I picked him up on the Gutty Link on the backside of the farm, working through Betty. Nice mainframe 10. He is on the list as well to shoot if we see him tonight, but it's hard saying what we'll see here coming into rut. But now that I've got him back on camera, I think Hot Doe could easily drag him through here. He might be here for rut, we'll see. Nice cold front, pressure's high. Windy or not, this is the time of the year to be in the stand. Well, I think I have a nickname for that buck. Instead of the Big Ten that just showed up, we're gonna call him Second Chance. Hopefully I get a second chance at him. Unreal. Golly. He just went down. Second Chance just went down. Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. I did not give him any time. I thought he was on edge. Yeah, I feel like he's gonna cut this trail. I think he was gonna cut this trail. And he paused again. I just took my first opportunity and smacked him. He lives. Oh, we did it. We did it. We did it. That's second chances. Yeah. Well, it's been an interesting night. Saw the other target buck out in the bean field to my west. Just caught a quick glimpse of him, the big 9-point. I thought about rattling, but my wind is kind of dropping down into this bottom as it starts to die off. So I really don't want to mess him up. Gonna sit tight and see what else happens the rest of the evening. Man, oh man, how can you not love this stuff? What a night. Probably one of my best hunts ever. I've seen 3 studs. And we had that broken deer on camera as well. He is a stud. He's gonna be an awesome deer to hunt next year. He's got that one side all broke up. Just so, that's one of the best encounters I've had. Just, it's crazy. Just bolted right to the tree. I don't know what it was. Just awesome. That's got me so fired up, man. I'm definitely gonna be hunting this area hard for these bucks. I really want to play it smart on these. I know they're here. I know they're in the area, but what a night. This has got me so fired up. November 1st is tomorrow. We're just getting started. So excited for the next month. It's gonna be a fun month in this area. So gotta keep after them, and we'll see you in the morning.
Back in Iowa, Brandon and his favorite hunting buddies are taking up the blood trail.
Yeah, you see that? Look at that arrow. We got a deer. We gotta go find it. All right, that's the impact. He went this way. Look right here.
Blood.
Do you see blood? Follow the blood. You show me where he's at. Keep looking.
Blood.
Keep following it.
Blood.
Did you just find my buck? Did you find Daddy's buck? Let's go see him.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Did we kill this or did you kill it?
Dad got a shot at him tonight. That's him.
You shoot and then the mouse?
Right here.
Oh.
All right, let's get a tag on him. Who wants to hold the camera?
Me.
Well, here's that big 10 I had an encounter with tonight twice. We called second chances. Wouldn't you know it, he come back out for a second chance and I did not let him slip up. I'm pretty sure I've got pictures of this deer from last year. He didn't do a whole lot from last year to this year, but he put on a little bit more tine length, a little bit more mass, but I can't be more happier. Got the kids out to do the track job. Found them. Brixley helped. And thanks for Kels for bringing them up. What a fun way to end trick-or-treat night with the kiddos and the whole family. The trick-or-treat buck.
As Brandon leaves the Halloween woods behind him, back in southern Iowa, Justin Carnes is just arriving, the tracking dog in tow.
All right, guys, it is about midnight. The tracker finished up with their track that they had earlier in the evening, and they just got here. So we're gonna sneak back in. We're gonna start at that last bed where we think we wind bumped him out of. We're gonna get the dog on it there, and we'll just kind of let them do their thing. We'll get them to last blood. And then we've been out of there, so now it's midnight, so it's been 14 and a half hours since the shot, so. We're gonna slip on in and hope we get him out of there. It's cold enough, the deer will be totally fine. We're just hoping the coyotes haven't got to him yet, but. Halloween buck, come on. It stands right there, shot was right there. We're on the deer's trail. And he headed straight down here and then in, so we'll just kind of head in and we'll get straight to that last bed.
As gut-wrenching as it is, the track produces no big 8 and the duo head home empty-handed. All that's left to do now is build a game plan for tomorrow and hope for the best.
I don't know how I could have a better year than this, shooting a muskox, and my wife, Monica, shooting her biggest buck ever, getting to take Joshua hunting, and Hope shooting her first deer with a bow, and just been a awesome year.
He come back out for a second chance and I did not let him slip up. I can't be more happier. Got the kids out. What a fun way to end trick-or-treat night with the kiddos and the whole family.
That's one of the best encounters I've had. Bolted right to the tree. I don't know what it was. That's got me so fired up, man. November 1st is tomorrow. We're just getting started. So excited for the next month.
As incredible as it seems, October has finally drawn to a close. Over the past 31 days, more excitement has unfolded than we ever imagined possible, and the phrase "best season ever" is buzzing. At this juncture, it feels entirely warranted, and now we stand on the brink of a magical window where the extraordinary can happen at any moment. Bow hunting, a game of odds, revolves around being in the right place at the right time, and just like other parts of the season, the ability to adapt is crucial. Showcased through the action in this episode, proof exists that the changes taking place in the whitetail woods now work in the favor of the hunter. Beyond all the strategies, the ultimate trump card is simply being out there hunting. This is the moment we've all been waiting for, and one day at a time, we are now officially chasing November. Sweet November is finally here, and with our best October ever in the rear view, those still with tags greet the new month with reset expectations. Only Owen Riegler is sidelined for the month, having punched both of his tags on Iowa Giants. With the rut now on our doorstep, everyone has a buck to hunt, but like our quarry, all attention is on the does. Showcasing the exact scenario we are all chasing, Justin Karn's hunt on Halloween saw a doe bring by his stand the Big 8, and what followed isn't exactly what was hoped for. After 2 different attempts so far at recovering the buck, the early hours of November 1st saw Justin head back home empty-handed. Deciding to take the morning off with hopes of acquiring another tracking dog, Justin and Drake welcomed November 1st by biding their time. That same morning, 159 miles to the east, Gavin Katurba is back on the Iowa public land hunting in a historically active stand.
November 1st, finally here. Super excited to be out this morning. It's a beautiful, calm, crisp morning. High pressure, pressure's like 30.4. I mean, it's crazy. Sitting over this crossing. This is the spot we actually left the stand that we've been hunting out of the past few hunts. It's actually right across the way, about 30 yards away. But with a south wind today, the wind has been north the past few days, northwest. It switched to southwest this morning, so it's blowing back towards this slough behind us. This is the tree that Ethan and I had that encounter with that double split 2 buck 2 years ago. Need some redemption out of this spot, so fingers crossed. That bladed 8 was on this crossing yesterday morning. He was with a doe, so who knows where they went. And we also got that 6x5 on camera in the morning yesterday on the other side of this bedding area, so you never know. A lot of deer should be filtering through here, coming back from ag fields and stuff, so. Beautiful morning, November 1st. Couldn't be more pumped to be out here. Hopefully we can make it happen.
While Gavin daydreams of the bladed 8 lurking behind a doe, that same morning, back in southern Iowa, Brian Brown and I are again set up in the same redneck blind.
Back at him this morning, November 1st, sweet November in Iowa. This is definitely the place you want to be in November. We're back in the redneck and the food plot. I think this is our 4th sit in this spot. No wind, perfect to do some rattling, grunting. And hopefully it'll go down this morning.
phenomenal sit this morning. It was really cold, like 17 degrees, and as soon as this ice started kind of melting off, man, the deer were moving like crazy. We rattled in a couple bucks. We had gray face right here at about 32 yards, and finally seeing what I was all about. But regardless, we're getting on into November, so it's excitement's getting high.
With the heavy frost burning away, both our and Gavin's deer movement carried well into the late morning. Making adjustments, Gavin gets down, shifting to a different spot, one he calls the duck pond.
We've been set up for about a half an hour or so. Actually had a fawn pop out of the bedding right here and just feed for a few minutes and then dip back in there. Being this tight too, multiple bedding areas. There's basically a bedding area off to my right, bedding area off to my left. We should see some good movement. But the nice thing about this spot is we got a south wind. It's been north winds for the past few days. And it's blowing basically straight perpendicular, I guess you could say, with the two bedding areas. So we're expecting most of the travel to be this way, whereas the wind is blowing straight that way, and there's like a big open, dried up duck hole type of thing that we actually access through, and it's basically blowing just right along the edge of that, and there's a bunch of thick stuff. I just don't expect deer to be along the edge of that, so it's a really good way to blow this wind. We'll see. Hopefully we can lay eyes on something tonight at the very least and make a game plan, if not get an arrow in one.
With young bucks on their feet cruising, Gavin settles in with high hopes for the remainder of his sit. That same evening, 160 miles to the south in northern Missouri, Aiden and Avery Epperson are making their way back to the recently acquired permission property dubbed the Brush Farm.
Well, guys, it's finally November 1st. Sweet November is here. Avery and I are back on the Brush Farm after stick tight. We elected to come here just kind of out of spite of the wind being right for the first time in a few days. So we climbed in the northwest plot here in the stand that we encountered him in last week. And we haven't had him on camera. I think the last time was yesterday at 1 o'clock, but he was way on the south part of the farm, headed west. We haven't had him back over here on this part, but nonetheless, the wind's perfect for it. We can slip in here nice and easy after work, probably do some calling. You know, maybe he'll make an appearance. There's also 210, and with the rut, anything could show up. We could have a new deer, especially with all the CRP, all this bedding, all the does. You never know what's going to show up. So we're going to sit tight and see what the evening brings us. We're excited.
It's not him, is it?
Is it him?
Can't tell. heard it. Is it him? There's no way that's him. Okay, no, it's not him.
You got him. Go down.
Quit shaking the tree.
He's gonna go down right there. Get ready, he's gonna go down right there.
Was he quartering to a little bit, maybe?
No, he was broadside. I think I just might have hit him back in the liver, maybe.
He's gonna go in there and he's gonna bed down and die, so...
Yeah.
I'm about to lose him in the camera.
He's walking down that path. You talk about wild. Oh my gosh. We just got in the tree. We just got in the tree. We had a couple does filter through, a small buck. I mean, it's 3:30, 4 o'clock maybe. I was just sitting here, I looked up, and I thought it was him, a buck, down exactly where he just stood for a little bit. I seen it from the back in the binos. I was like, Avery, it's him. Grabbed the grunt call, grunted. Avery's like, I don't think that's him. Looked through the binos. Sure enough, it wasn't. I no more. I sat down, just It wasn't him. I looked to my left and he popped out right here at 35 yards. He was just through here, and he caught us red-handed, just looking for that grunt. We had to, it felt like forever. I had to pick the bow up off the thing, and finally was able to get a shot at him at about 25, 26 yards. I thought it was perfect. It might be just a touch back, but he's not toting that. He ran down here. We watched him bed down just at the end of the CRP. That is insane. That is nuts. That is exactly what we were hoping for to happen. We knew he's been in this area. He's been in here thick and heavy. It's all paid off. November 1st. Dude, that's freaking awesome. On the new farm, all the hard work pays off. I can't help but laugh. That's great. That's awesome.
Though convinced the shot is lethal, watching the buck's rapid tail flicking is an indicator of a liver shot which requires more time. Deciding to back out and play things safe, Aiden and Avery head back to the truck. Back on the Iowa public land, Gavin is trying to create some luck of his own.
Well, it's about 6:15. I only saw one more spike since all those younger bucks came through. It's good to see that much movement. That tells me that there's definitely, most of the deer are going to be bedding back in this stuff. We're going to come back here in the morning, probably just leave this set up. We'll catch you guys in the morning unless we see something else here.
As Gavin's hunt comes to an end, 95 miles to the west, Drake Lamb is on stand with Justin behind the lens. Having taken the morning off to secure a tracking dog, word was received that the track will not take place until well after dark. Deciding to make the best of the day, Drake is taking a shot at the non-typical giant he calls the flyer buck.
About the last 40 minutes, and we haven't seen anything but a fawn, so that's normally about how it goes on this farm. You never see much anything. Might as well crack him and see if we can't get him coming. That's our #1 deer right there. Wait. If he would have just came right down the foot plot, just like he did this morning, it would have been 40 yards. It would have been perfect, but it wasn't terrible spooked. What a giant, though.
Following the great encounter, the guys resume focus on picking up the trail of Justin the Big 8. Tracking blood for over 1,300 yards, eventually it dries up and the track leads them into one of the thickest bedding areas on the property. Suspending the search until the morning, the duo head home for another sleepless night. The following morning, November 2nd, finds Mike Reed back on stand for his first hunt of the new month.
Thursday, November 2nd. My first sit of November. I had to work the last 2 days. Still pretty excited, reveling in our success getting DK down on October 30th. We have a south-southwest wind this morning, and it's actually about 20 degrees. It's really cold. It's a little bit warmer than yesterday, and the pressure's kind of coming down with this southerly wind. We're gonna have a couple days like this, but we're on this 28-acre piece that I have that we replanted the CRP this year, so we're back in here trying to lay eyes on Rocky, and we'll be bouncing around trying to get a feel for different things, but we're gonna spend the morning out here, and it's a perfect setup. I got this little red oak tucked in the corner, big ravine going down to the river, and our wind just blows right back over the river, so it's a really nice calling setup. And it's November 2nd, so you never know what's gonna happen.
While Mike waits to see what the calling sequence may provide, back in northern Missouri, Aiden Epperson is taking up the trail.
Well guys, I believe we just found stick tight. We were sitting here looking through the CRP with no luck, and with his last bed being right here on the edge, I finally just took a deep breath and was like, what do deer do on a liver hit? They go to the creek, they go to water. So I was like, well, that looks like the path of least resistance. Sure enough, I walked in there and he was laying over the edge right there. I haven't gone to take a look at it. Avery came down here, so we're gonna ease in here and go get our hands on it. Dude. Yep, I'd say he was probably dead last night. That is a freaking toad. Got them awesome extras, the dagger there. Woo! Well guys, the stars aligned perfectly yesterday afternoon. Was able to finally get an opportunity at stick tight with kind of a crazy scenario of events there. Thinking another deer was him and then turning and there he was. But I'm tickled pink to be sitting behind this, what we believe to be a 5.5-year-old deer on the new farm. He's just an awesome deer. Got all kinds of things going on. Thank you to Avery for filming me and being here. Thanks for Tyler for the opportunity to get to go in on this new farm and be partners on it, and thanks to Midwest Whitetail for everything that they do. We greatly appreciate it. It's all for moments like this, to be sitting right behind big mature bucks, and this is what we live for.
While While the Eppersons celebrate recovering the Missouri Giant, back in Iowa, a search party is assembled to comb the thick bottom where the last blood of Justin's Big 8 was found.
Sometimes them crows find them, sometimes they don't, but
that was literally one of the most intense, insane encounters I've ever had in the deer woods. We're in here looking for Justin's buck. I was creeping up in here and I saw one of the bucks that's on our hit list, the big, wide, gnarly, mature 8-pointer. And he was on the other side, so I gave him a snort wheeze and he came right up in. And I bet he was 5 freaking yards. If that doesn't tell you that the rut's on here in Iowa, then I don't know what does, but insane.
Though experiencing one of the most intense moments we've ever witnessed in the woods, the morning for Justin and Drake ends on a somber note when the guys again come up empty-handed. Now wrapping up the 4th attempt to recover the buck, at this point Justin has exhausted his options. As gut-wrenching as it is, the hope lies in being able to watch for crows and other scavengers or wait on spring when visibility is better to recover the deer. Treating it as if his tag is punched, Justin's attention now shifts to exchanging the bow for the camera and shadowing Drake. As Drake and Justin hit the reset button, back in southern Iowa, Caleb's coming off of a solid first morning on the new permission property. After speed scouting the past few days, Caleb's already located a new giant to focus his efforts on. Shifting gears for the afternoon, Caleb's recruited a decoy and sneaks in for a high anticipation hunt.
We snuck out here back close to where we were coming out from this morning's sit. When we were coming out, I saw a really good buck. It could have been the one that we were in there hunting this morning, but he was a tank, and we're pretty much set up close to his area. It looked like he was with a doe, so we decided to bring the decoy. So he either comes by with a doe or we don't. But there's a lot of other big deer out here, aren't there, Shay? It's nice seeing deer for a change. Feel very fortunate. So beautiful out. I'm wishing for colder weather, but looks like it's going to be warmer weathers later this week. I don't think that's really going to affect the movement. I think it's going to be really good. So see what comes out tonight.
Across the state in eastern Iowa, Mike Reed is also making an adjustment for the afternoon. Deciding to head back to a stand location that he knows holds a high number of does, Mike takes advantage of stealthy access provided by a nearby slough.
Well, we have made the move to the River Bottom Farm. We're down next to the central timber, and we have this old farm lane that comes out of the timber and heads off to the ag fields. And this whole lane is just littered with red oaks that have dropped tons of acorns. So there's been just piles of does right here. And last time we sat here, we saw over 20 does and fawns. This time of year in the afternoons, one strategy is to, quote unquote, hunt the does. And this camera, every evening, there's just bunches of them walking out on here, so it's been very consistent. The primary buck we're after is Fitzmagic. He is, in my estimation, a 7.5-year-old buck. He's a 6x7 with, I think, 3 or 4 base kickers. I've had lots of encounters with him over the years. The farther we get into November, the better chance we have of catching him right here. We have a south-southwest wind. It's pretty warm. It's like 58 degrees. We'll see if he shows up. Well, that was a fun sit. Non-stop action the entire time we're there, and even after dark, they just kept walking out of the bedding area down that little road. I think we got out pretty clean. After it got really dark and we couldn't hear any more walking, we just slipped out of there. We left a stand in the tree this time. We're gonna have some south winds this next week, so gonna probably sit that again. It's such a nice spot. There's so many does right there that I think if we hunt there in the afternoon, we'll have a good chance at catching up with Fitzmagic. So we're gonna head back to the house and come up with a plan in the morning, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Back in southern Iowa, Caleb's ground hunt continues.
That's a good way to end the night. As a 8 or a 9, I think we've had a few pictures of them on the tracks camera. The first one we originally put in here, Shay and I did. Fun encounter, looks like a mature buck. It's not the one we're after, so I'm really excited about tomorrow morning. I think we got high odds. Might sit where we went this morning, or might sit on a different farm, we'll see.
Thank you to Avery for filming me and being here. Thanks for Tyler for the opportunity to get to go in on this new farm, and it's all for moments like this, to be sitting right behind big mature bucks, and this is what we live for.
That's a good way to end the night. As a 8 or a 9, it's not the one we're after, so I'm really excited about tomorrow morning. I think we got high odds. But the action's picking up. It's November. Not gonna be more tickled about it, so.
Non-stop action the entire time we're there, and even after dark. We're gonna have some south winds this next week, so gonna probably sit that again. It's such a nice spot. So many does right there that I think if we hunt there in the afternoon, we'll have a good chance at catching up with Fitzmagic.
Each and every fall, hunters across the Midwest eagerly await the promise that November might bring. Depending on who you ask on a given day, it may be the best day ever or one of the worst. The rut is a roller coaster full of peaks and valleys, delivering emotions from the highest highs to the lowest lows. Yet this is exactly what draws us back each season. Illustrated by the events of the first 2 days, the realization of what could happen tomorrow continues to set in. At any moment, a chance could present itself, and it's up to us to seize it. Still on the front end of the bell curve, the incline of does and estrus is slow, offering opportunities to find a solitary buck. Tomorrow is a new day, and as we settle into our pace, we navigate carefully, step by step. After all, it's a long month ahead, and there's no need to rush when you are chasing November. With the game now centered around finding the right doe or getting lucky and locating a buck alone searching, November 3rd sees Caleb Greiner heading back to the same stand as the morning before.
It's the morning of November 3rd. Shay and I are back in the same set that we put up 2 days ago here on this new permission farm. The reason I like this spot so much, I didn't really talk about it. We've got a few fingers that all connect down into a big chunk of timber. It's about 3 different fingers, one that goes out straight north and 2 that jet out to the west. But there's definitely main bedding and a lot of deer that stay out to our west. That's our east. It's early this morning. Hanging in this oak, kicking our wind back to the southwest. But what we're trying to do is just get in between bedding, hunt pinches, and hope that one of these bucks gets off a doe and he's searching. See if we can find an angry one.
With deer moving all around their stand, Caleb and Shay lock in, watching for signs of movement. That same morning, over 1,000 miles to the east, team member Kyle Lawrence is also hunting. Finding himself on the journey of being a new father, Kyle's priorities have shifted, and up to this point, he's saved his time on stand for the best time of the year. After spotting a good buck the afternoon prior, an adjustment is made and the setup is perfect.
It is the morning of November the 3rd, guys. It popped up in on this ridge over top this river bottom that we were sitting down in yesterday. And up here is where we saw that target 8-point with the broke G3 on him. That's why we're up here today. Brought a stand up in here with us doing a hanging hunt and hoping to catch him cruising again midday. Maybe he'll get on the doe that'll loop him through, but hoping that some of these deer filter up through here. It's almost like a pinch up here on top of this ridge. So hopefully they're cruising today.
Back.
He is down. He is down. 30 yards? 30 yards from the tree, dude? Oh. Oh my God. Let's go. Oh man. I can't believe it. Came right up this ridge. He was gonna circle up into the timber and I grinded at him. Let's go. Oh man. Alright guys, just climbed down at the base of the tree here, and we saw him fall over, so I'm gonna come up here, grab my arrow, and just check out some of the blood. Alright guys, this is the broke G3 8-point that you've heard me talk about for a couple weeks now, and this morning was absolutely textbook. Got in about 8 o'clock, made sure wife could get ready for work, so I watched Easton, and then slid in with the stand on my back. Popped up on that ridge where we had saw him yesterday. He was in there way too many times not to come back through again cruising, so this morning he worked the edge of that hay field. I grounded at him, he ended up popping up in the woods, coming right into 10 yards, and just it made an absolute perfect shot. Ran about 25 yards and tipped over, so I couldn't be any happier. Super stoked. Season's still early, but the rut's really popping off, guys. Good luck to everybody the rest of the season. Thank you for watching Midwest Whitetail.
Back on stand at Southern Iowa, Caleb's still enjoying good deer action.
Well, pretty slow morning, but bucks are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Just cruising this edge of this creek. In between a transition, assume looking for does. All these bucks are coming up this hillside or this trail right here in front of us to our left. They're coming up here at 15, 20 yards, so it gives me a lot of confidence. seeing a big buck out here, he's probably going to come out the same trail and present a perfect opportunity. So I want to get closer to where all this bedding is, to where all the action I would assume is going to be. There's just more cover up that way, and Shane and I were just talking, we need to go get a pole saw. There's a couple stands that are in some locust trees that have just locust thorns going everywhere, so hopefully we can get everything done. I gotta hang some stands for some other guys too. It's part of my work, so keep chugging along.
As Caleb wraps up hanging the new stand, 130 miles to the northeast, Mike Reed's morning hunt is coming to a close. Positioned in a location nicknamed the Pond Set, Mike's mission was to lay eyes on the Fitzmagic buck for the first time this season. Though the camera missed it, Mike caught a brief glimpse of exactly what he was looking for. With the buck's direction of travel in mind, Mike and Rye decide to back out to get some work done and shoot a few arrows. Dialed in, Mike's back on the farm, heading to the infamous South Plot, the same plot Rye tagged his biggest buck ever only a year before.
That doe just came out. He's gonna come. There he is. There he is. About to come back out in the lane. We've had an exciting start to the afternoon hunt. Ryan and I are on the same end of the farm that we were this morning, and we no sooner got in the stand than laid eyes on our target buck, Fitzmagic. We had a little 1.5-year-old spike come chasing a doe by while we were getting set up. And the next thing you know, there he was. He kind of pushed those does around. One of those does must be pretty close because he stayed on her trail. I threw a few calls his way, grunt, snort, wheeze. He stopped. He looked very intently in this direction, but decided to turn and stay on that doe's trail, and they went back up that strip of timber. It's a tough situation to try to call him away from her, but his body language was such that he wasn't very interested, and we had a spike under us and other deer, so I didn't want to start banging the antlers together and scare everything. This spot is a spot we call the South Plot. It's a nice turnip plot. We got a little clover mixed in. And the deer naturally work their way out of the bedding through this plot off to the cut ag field. Our wind is a southwest to west, switching to northwest right at dark, so there's not a whole lot of spots that can accommodate all of that. this spot works out pretty well. It's nice to see him this twice today, so hopefully we can get another chance and get him in bow range. That was a fun afternoon. Non-stop action the whole time we were here. It's really cool to lay eyes on Fitzmagic again. Still right in this main area that we've been getting pictures of him. I think we have a good chance of catching up with him. So we're gonna be back in here tomorrow. We're gonna hunt the Poseidon set. We've got a north wind. He seems to be going through that central timber every day, so hopefully we can get him in bow range tomorrow. Well, as you guys could see, it got a little close there right at the end. We were just talking, how many minutes do we have left till legal shooting? And I said 5, and then I heard a deer coming out of the timber, and I couldn't quite tell what it was, but then he got in the food plot, and I was like, it's a pretty good buck. And binos on him, it was him. And then we heard another one coming out of that thicket in front of us. So it was a little buck, and I thought, man, this is going to happen. He's going to follow this little buck right to the base of the tree, but he just stared at that buck and then walked down the path. Only deer to do that all night, walk the path out. Normally they cut the plot, go through the ditch, and go out to the standing ag that way. You know, and Rise said we got enough camera light, so I let him get past us and grunted once to stop him, and then snort wheezed at him, and he started pawing the ground, but you know, unfortunately didn't really respond, didn't come over, so he was on a mission and walked off. After seeing him earlier, I thought he was with that doe, but obviously to come out of there by himself, she's not in heat yet, so anyway, it's crazy to see him 3 times in one day, 3 separate instances, and we're gonna stay after him. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, we're down at the River Bottom Farm, about to head out to the set. It's November 4th, nice and cool, about 33 degrees. We are going to head to the Poseidon set, which is the south side of the Central Timber. It's just a great spot. We had lots of encounters with Fitzmagic there last year. It's the edge of a big bedding area, and the deer all just filter back in there, and there's lots of chasing, and pressure's on the rise with this north wind. And after our 3 encounters with him yesterday, he's very active on the farm, and fingers crossed he'll come in bow range this morning.
With the deer beginning to filter back to the bedding area, Mike and Rye scanned the river bottom in front of them. That same morning, 118 miles to the southwest, Drake Lamb is back on stand, tucked between multiple known bedding areas. True to form, the morning greets him with the Kings of Spring. You see him? He's coming. He's coming. You see him? Straight ahead. I'm almost positive it's him. I'm 95% sure it's him. It's him. Okay. Good? Yes. Man. Smoked him, buddy. You can go down right there. Going down right there, buddy. Right there, baby. Right there, baby. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Brother. First deer we seen this morning. It's the white A that we had the freaking 5-yard encounter with. And he's dead right here, 25 yards. It's the only deer after we just started shot him after all that crap we've freaking been through. Oh, dude. You did. That's why we do what we do. That's a giant freaking egg right there. I mean, perfect. Got turkeys gobbling right here, dude. It doesn't get any better. I saw a deer clear across the creek right here, and it was Jenna's buck. Blew up the scrape like November 4th. This is, like, it hasn't even hit me yet, but like, just
We just had an epic hunt, like one of the best hunts. Oh man, that's hit me. Oh. Kind of in here on a whim of, you know, one of these bucks come cruising through here and perfect access. Skip's TSI'd this timber. I mean, this is the most beautiful timber that me and Justin have ever been in. Different stages of TSI, just all kinds of browse in here, just perfect. But we slipped in from the top, came right down in. We call this the hornet's nest because we're right in the middle of the farm. And Skip, you know, we preach that, hunt the edges, then dive in. This is the time to be diving in. And that's exactly right there. We got a giant 8 on the ground, November 4th, 7:44. And I'm tagged out and I'm freaking jacked, man. That couldn't have been any more perfect. Grunted him in like across the creek, blew out a scrape right. He's on the ground? Yeah. I hit him with the new grunter, and he did it. New grunter. And he did it.
How about this? Not that we can help on a track job, but we're gonna get ready and head down your way.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. We'll wait for you.
All right, well, just got to the ground, and this is one of the best parts about tagging a buck, and one of the worst parts when you see him go down is you gotta wait for all your buddies, because this is definitely a team effort. Skip, for sure, he's been gracious enough to let me and Justin hunt here and come out here and work and learn from him. And that's, you know, me and Justin are just is ingrained in this habitat management and this everything that goes into harvesting these big deer. Me and Justin are just ate up with, and we the stars aligned. We kind of aligned with Skippy with our new habitat management business. And I mean, this is just the pinnacle. This is exactly why we love doing what we do. It's not about killing the animal. It's about growing these things, letting them have the best life that they possibly can. These entry exit routes, all the strategy that goes into these bucks, man. I mean, that's why we do what we do. It's not about killing these things. It's about everything else that goes up to it. So we're gonna go back and not go after this deer. We're gonna go get the boys, and it's gonna be a team effort on this one. So we'll see you in a little bit.
Didn't say sweet November because he almost didn't. What's sweet now?
Sweet enough now.
Oh yeah, dude, that's gorgeous. All right, well, got the crew, got Scoob, Justin, Skippy, finally got out of bed this morning, pulled him out of there. We're gonna go look at him. He's right here. We just got back to the tree. Justin did go over here and put his coat on him before we left, just so the coyotes didn't get to him, so we should be good. He's right here, so. Oh, boys. Holy cow. Look at this thing. That's a giant 8. Deer rear in here after. Skippy called it. He's like, that might be a good spot in the morning. And we saw him, well, the first encounter we had, what? September 26th or something? You season. Yeah, Justin's sister, we took her out, and she actually hit the deer somewhere. We had blood and tracked him forever. Didn't end up finding him. And then Skip texted us, I don't know, what was it, 2 weeks after that probably. And he was just mind blown. The deer showed up, and then Justin shot his buck. We had, kind of a fiasco with that, unfortunately. And then we were in here 2 days ago looking for Justin's deer, and I seen this guy on the other side of the creek, and I snort wheezed at him, and he came in and blew out a scrape, and just one of the coolest encounters I've ever had deer hunting. So we came in this morning. We hunted this spot a couple days ago. It was down in here in this gorgeous TSI that Skip's done, and what is this, 10 years old? Some kind of different stuff. But I mean, just gorgeous in here. Tons of new regen, regrowth. Just, I mean, as good as it gets for a morning spot and down in here, the bedding, and saw him across the creek, pulled out that grunt call, and he came right in just like he did yesterday. It's just like to call in a deer 2 days in a row, or you know, a day apart, and just nuts. But that's time of the year, November. So come and get your hands on him, boys.
Oh, dude.
Look at this thing.
Yeah, that's a beast, dude. He got definitely a lot bigger than last year.
Right there, man.
We have his sheds too. He got way bigger.
Oh my, he's just a monster.
Just a hammer of an 8.
So my wish is that everybody gets a chance at hunting a mature deer like this. It shouldn't be just Iowa. It shouldn't be just maybe Kansas and being fewer in Kansas. There's no reason that every state shouldn't have at least a few mature animals in every neighborhood for guys to chase. So Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, down the list. There's just a couple little regulation choices we have to make. And if we keep listening to the same people making the same excuses for making things worse or not changing, it's never gonna improve. And I just think it's better for the whole herd, and it's better for anybody chasing these mature animals across any state to be able to at least have a few of them there and get the age structure there. So it will literally benefit everybody. I want to see this in every state, be able to chase deer like this.
Yeah, feel the scar tissue. Like this whole thing is broken right here. Feel that?
It's crazy. Got him hung up. Josh was in here kind of overlooking him, and this is the deer that Jenna shot back in September, and this was the side that we shot him on. And we found the entrance right here of the muzzleloader bullet.
You're like an inch from the heart, man. Perfect.
I mean,
you guys told her.
I told her to put it on the heart. He was 120 yards, and like, it was perfect. I told her to put it on the heart. She's money. She doesn't have the target panic. Like, she'll slowly execute. Like, I have all the confidence in the world with her behind the gun, and we were really going. I mean, after everything that happened, we found some blood. Yeah, it literally looks like you got stitched up. The things that these animals can live through is really, it's a game of inches.
While we celebrate Drake's big buck success back on the river farm, Mike and Rye are still on stand.
It's a big old doe. It's about 9 o'clock. We've had good movement so far. Nothing crazy as far as like chasing or really aggressive behavior, but they're all just meandering around in here. It's the perfect morning for this stand. We have this very light north wind and just thermals rising. And this is a spot where you get deer on all sides of you, so it's working out very well so far. Hopefully Fitzmagic shows up. I can see a buck. Is that fat boy? Hold on. Yeah, that's him. Here, hang over here. The slough. I got him. He's got his ears back.
it's about 12:15, where I said big doe on the lane, and I got her in the glass, and she looked back behind her, and right away we see this buck we call Tony, and it's a buck that Rye has been contemplating whether or not he wants to shoot it.
It was a tough decision. Realistically though, like from my stand, I don't have anywhere. There's one small gap we could have shot through, but it would have been a challenge to get the camera arm out of the way and get Mike's bow, and I didn't make the decision fast enough, so.
This is a tough stand to do the switcheroo in. It was neat though, because he's over there with that big doe, grunt at him, do a little snort wheeze. He looked real hard, pawed the ground a little bit, and he just worked his way through the slough here. And then I hit the rattling antlers together, and he just right away turned around. I could see him running back, and he came right back through at 25 yards. But
definitely got me fired up.
Big body on him. Cool encounter for the middle of the day. It's always fun to see. Four of them. Look at that.
That's a giant freaking 8 right there. I mean, perfect. Got turkeys gobbling right here, dude. It doesn't get any better.
Bucks are doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're coming up here 15, 20 yards, so it gives me a lot of confidence seeing a big buck out here. He's probably gonna come up the same trail and present a perfect opportunity.
After seeing him earlier, I thought he was with that doe, but obviously to come out of there by himself, she's not in heat yet, so. Anyway, it's crazy to see him 3 times in one day, 3 separate instances, and we're gonna stay after him, and I think we have a pretty good chance of catching up with him here pretty soon if it stays like this. So we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Just a few days into this high-stakes chess match, Mike Reed has seen his top buck not once, not twice, but 3 times, with one unfolding just out of bow range. Out searching, the Fitzmagic deer is alone, and this is exactly the kind of scenario we all seek. Just ask Drake Lamb, who ended his dream hunt with a perfect heart shot. Transitioning from the ground encounter to the massive frame in hand in only a few days, these are the moments that showcase why all hunters hit the field dreaming big each and every day. Nothing beats celebrating friend success, but those with tags still in hand must look ahead, refocus to make a call of their own. There's no better time than today, and in the blink of an eye, the chase could be charging towards the tree that's been saved for this very occasion. These are the good times, and day by day, we are chasing November.